Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Chitra Tutorial. This is the Android tutorial for beginners part 10. So in this video we are going to see about the user interface controls in detail. In an Android application, user interface is everything that the user can see and interact with. You have learned about various layouts you can use to position your views in an activity. So in this tutorial, it will give you a detail on various views. So a view is an object that draws something on the screen that the user can interact with, and view group is an object that holds other view objects in order to define the layout of the user interface. So this is the definition of the view and view group. We already seen how to define the layout. A layout is an XML file which offers a human readable structure for the layout similar to HTML. So in this linear layout we may take and text view button. So this is the example for layout structure we already seen in my previous videos. Refer my previous video to understand more. Next we move on the Android user interface controls. So these are the UI controls. It includes the text view, edit text, auto complete text view, button, image button, checkbox, toggle button, radio group, progress bar, spinner, time picker and date picker. So there are a number of UI controls provided by Android that allows you to build the graphical user interface for your app. First we move on what is text view control. This control is used to display the text to the user. So it is a normal text view. We can define the text in the app. You can use this control text view. And edit text is a predefined subclass of a text view that includes a rich editing capability. It is used to get the value from the user. So the edit text control that is used to get a value. And autocomplete text view is a view that is similar to edit text except that it shows a list of completion suggestion automatically while the user is typing. So when we type a letter for your edit text, so it automatically give those text already written. Next, what is button control? So a button is a push button, can be pressed or clicked by the user to perform an action. So button is used to on click action. When we click a button, you can define some action to perform in the app. So for this button control is used. And then image button. So the image button is for images. It is the absolute layout enable you to specify the exact location of its children's. Then we move on checkbox. So it is the on off switch that can be toggled by the user. You should use this checkbox when presenting the user with a group of selectable options that are not mutually exclusive. It can be used to define the gender. We can tick either male or female. Next, what is toggle button? It is an on or off button with a light indicator. We can see this toggle button in many apps to on or off some events. Next, what is radio button? We are all very known what is radio button. It has two states, either checked or unchecked. So we have any two controls, for example the same gender, you can use this radio button. And radio group, it is used to group together, that is one or more radio buttons to form a radio group. Next, what is progress bar? So progress bar, I think you don't know, but you can see in many apps it views these views provides a visual feedback about some ongoing task, such as when you are performing a task in the background, it may like a loading function. So example for this progress bar, or if you are searching for some content, if no internet is available to load that page, then it is loaded for. So for that we can use this progress bar control. Next, what is spinner? Spinner is a drop down list that allow the user to select one value from a set. So we can use spinner to select the country. So we have listed many countries. For from that we can select one country. For that purpose we use this spinner control. Next, we going to see the time picker control. So it is used to pick the time value. So these view enable the user to select a time of the day in either 24-hour mode, or it may be AM or PM mode. Next, what is date picker is used to pick the date. So it is a control box is available in your Android tool widget. It enables the user to select the date of the day. And next we move on how to create the UI controls in detail. As I explained in my previous video, a view object may have a unique ID assigned to it, which will identify the view uniquely within the tree. The syntax already we learned in my previous video. Refer my previous video for more details. The syntax is nothing but Android :id @+id/text ID. So this text ID is the ID for defined for your text view. Here, to create a UI control view or widget, you will have to define the view or widget in the layout file and assign it to a unique ID. We know already the view may be any user interface object like text view, button, checkbox, image, button, and etc. We already seen in this view. And next we move on example program for this UI controls. Here we declared a linear layout, and the UI controls we used are text view and button. We can use anything we already defined in my previous slide. It may be a progress bar, it may be a checkbox, button, or anything. We used here only the text view and button. So this is the format and example program for this UI controls. Next we move on how to create an instance of this control object and capture it from the layout file. So finally create an instance of the control object. So the instance is nothing but the object for that class. Here the text view and button is the class name. So the object created for that classes are text and button 1. And we define this id or .id.text id. So these text id and the button or the id for the UI controls that uniquely identify that text view and that button. So this coding is written in the Java file, that is main activity.java file, to access that UI controls in the layout. So this text view text in this text object, it hold the value of the text view. So the value of the text in the previous slide, Android text, is assigned as a sample text view. So this text is assigned to the text object that we seen here. And next the button object, it holds the value nothing but Android.text I am a button, that is shown in the button tag. So these value is holded by the button tag and it is accessed by the Java file, accessed by this button1 object. So in this video we seen in detail about the UI controls and example programs. So thank you for watching, and like and subscribe my channel for more videos.